Hello beautiful people and welcome to the IDK Cuz YouTube channel. I am Emily and today I'll be talking about the new Nancy Drew game that just came out for the PC. Nancy Drew number 29, The Silent Spy. So when I first tell people that I play Nancy Drew video games, most of them ask me, wait, isn't Nancy Drew a series of books written by some woman that died a really long time ago? And yeah, that's true. Caroline Keene did write over 100 Nancy Drew books that are now pretty much famous. As a result, Herinteractive took it into their own hands and made it into a video game that's interactive, and some of them are actually based completely off the books and others are made up by their team. When Herinteractive made Nancy Drew as a video game, they made it a first-person RPG which you play as Nancy Drew and try to solve mysteries based on what Nancy would do. For those of you who do not know who Nancy Drew is, she's a super sleuthing teenager who's constantly winding up in these crazy situations of car chases, sent death threats, friends getting kidnapped, and she even gets knocked unconscious in pretty much all the games that has come out. So Nancy Drew number 29 is set in Scotland and is set with a very interesting plot line. As many people know who have played Nancy Drew games, for example, number 8, The Haunted Carousel, we find out a little bit about Nancy's past, like her mom died when she was young. Like, I'm pretty sure there was a scene where we were talking to Joy Trent and she says, oh yeah, my mom died when I was really young, and Nancy says, oh, that's really sad, like, I understand, I lost my mom when I was young too, but never goes into detail about how her mother died. Well, at the end of the last Nancy Drew game, Nancy Drew number 28, we saw a glimpse into the future of what the game that we're playing now. So up until this point in the Nancy Drew series, we were led to believe that Nancy's mom actually died in a car accident. But now, this accident isn't looking so accidental. So this being the story that sets up everything, you have a lot of expectations going into a game, especially when it's about the character that you have become so invested in. Like, I grew up with Nancy Drew. I've probably played since I was 7. The first Nancy Drew game I ever got was Nancy Drew in the Haunted Mansion, so I've already invested a lot emotionally into Nancy's character. So finding out what happened to her mom is a really big deal for me, and I'm sure a lot of other of you who are just as into the game as I am. So I'm going to get right down to what I thought was great about the game and what I thought was not so great about the game. First, the pros. The first thing that I really liked about the game was the story and character development. The story, I loved how it was placed in Scotland, and it really had a really authentic Scotland feel to it, as opposed to some of the other games who haven't, like, captured the culture as well. And I also really loved the character development. I really liked how you got to know Bridget as Bridget, and then you kind of find out that she's actually a spy named Zoe, which I thought was awesome, because it really showed that characters make a full circle in this game. Like, Zoe actually is also Samantha Quick, who we have come into contact with so much in the Nancy Drew series, and we always were uneasy about who this person was and how they knew so much about us. So after meeting Zoe, I feel a lot more comfortable with Samantha Quick following us through the game, every game. But the second thing that I thought was really amazing about this Nancy Drew game was I loved the graphics. I thought it was so pretty and everything looked so nicely done. Like, I really liked how when you got to the safe house, you could see the lake and the forest and everything looked like you were there. Like, I thought this was way better than a lot of their other games that they've come out with. The graphics were just on point. One of the other things I really liked about this game was the interface. I love how they kept it the same as they did with the Tomb of the Lost Queen. I really like this interface, and I really don't want them to change it anytime soon. I really like how all of your tools are right there at the bottom, and I really like how you can look at your journal and read a code and put it into the game at the same time. You don't have to worry about writing it down on paper just to re-put it back into the computer. I think that's great. And lastly, one of the things that I thought was so awesome about this game was how Ned really made himself stand out. I thought that he was perfect, and the conversations and text messages that you had back and forth with Ned were great. Obviously, you can't send text back to him, but the ones that we received were so funny, and I loved it. And again, you're only going to get some of these text messages if you got the bonus edition, which you had to pre-order, which I did, luckily for me. But if you didn't pre-order, just pre-order the next game. You get a lot of cool bonus features. You get keychains for your phone, which are always really cute and fun, and you get some extra text messages and games on your phone, which are also awesome. So if you didn't get the bonus edition, you might have missed out on some of these text messages, so I'm just going to read you the ones that I had that were probably my favorite. One of the things that Ned said that I found very amusing was, just a friendly reminder about how great staying alive is with a smiley face. Like, that's just great because it came up in such a crucial point in the game that you just felt like, whoa, is Ned like here? Can he see what I'm doing? Because that was so on point. One of the other text messages that we got from Ned that I thought was super funny was, "Look out, I'm sending some Ned love your way. No, seriously, watch out. It's fast." And I thought that was just so great too because it really showed that Ned and Nancy aren't just two characters that talk to each other, they're actually in a relationship and a very caring one at that. Because at a point in the game, Nancy really needed help from Ned and he was there for her even if it meant doing something that was a little bit risky. And now to get into the things that I wasn't so happy about during the game. First, I was extremely disappointed that Bess and George were not in our phone to call. And I know that might not be a good negative because it's something that I was personally looking for, but I just love having Bess and George in every game because they are so funny and they add so much to my overall love of games. Like, I love how Bess is always crazy and quirky and like man crazy, but I love how George keeps her in check all the time and they bounce off each other really well and they make me feel like I'm one of their best friends. And I think having the two of them in any Nancy Drew game just adds so much to how much fun I have playing the game. One thing I really didn't like about this game was how they set up the awards at the end. I used to think that the awards were a great idea and that they were really funny, but just by playing the game, you really can't get all the awards. You pretty much have to know what the awards are going into the game. And I feel like if I end the game without getting a certain amount of awards, I didn't do a good job playing the game, which kind of upsets me because at least I beat it. Personally, I feel like the awards should be more like, hey, you beat the game, good job, or hey, you did this and you didn't have to do it. Instead of just like, hey, you made 500 cookies, congratulations, you get an award for it. One of the things that I really didn't like about the game was the ending. I thought the ending was extremely not great. I think it just let me down a lot because I was looking for some action and adventure because the game was built with so much going into it. Like, you hear that Nancy's mom was killed and at the end of the game, it kind of just fizzles out. And I really didn't like that. I really wish that we had a really crazy ending where we fought someone or ran from someone or killed someone. I don't know, probably not killed. That's a little extreme. But I wish that we did more than just, hey, you're it. I trapped you in the back room. Bye. I disabled a bomb. Cool. Like, I really wish that in the end we had like an awesome car chase or that we stopped them because they almost shot us with a gun. Like, I wish it was something that was like, holy crap, I can't believe that just happened, instead of a, oh, it's over, that's it, okay, cool. So overall, I thought that the game was pretty good. I mean, I liked the puzzles. I thought some of them were really challenging, but at the same time, they were pretty easy, and that it was not difficult to get through the whole thing without getting help from the internet or from your friends. So yeah, overall, I thought the puzzles were great. I loved the fact that you could play Katniss and shoot arrows all the time. I loved the relationship that Nancy had with her dad and how he was being very protective and just wanted her to come home and be safe. But at the same time, I did not like the ending pretty much at all. And there was just a lot of little things that I felt like could have been done a little bit better. But that's also because I'm a hard critic. I've played 29 Nancy Drew games and I do have things that I like and things that I don't like about games. But this one I thought just set up for a lot and really didn't fulfill everything that I wanted it to. Because at the end you didn't really know how Nancy's mom died, if someone killed her. They say someone did, but they don't say who killed her, and I felt like we really didn't get justice for her mother's death. But then again, you did get some of your questions answered. You found out what her mom was hiding, being a spy, and it was really interesting. That's why I really liked the story. I liked how it developed. I just thought that it was a little short of what they set you up to believe the game was going to be like. So with all of this being said, I'm going to give this video game rating a 7 out of 10 Zoes, because I thought they did a really, really great job on incorporating everything that they said was going to be in the game into the game. But at the same time, I was kind of upset because they left out some things I wish that they had put in. Now, no video game's perfect. It's going to be hard to get a 10. I'm a tough critic, especially of Nancy Drew games, because I have grown up with them and they have a very, very dear spot in my heart. But let me know down in the comments below if you played this game, how many Zoes would you give it? So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check us out on Twitter at IDK_cuz. Me and Sean put out some pretty fun tweets every once in a while. And please leave a comment below if you think that game reviews like this are a good idea. And I just want to know how I'm doing. So if you guys have any feedback for me, positive, negative, please let me know in the comments below because I want to get better at this and I really want your guys' help. So again, my name is Emily. Thank you for watching this video. And I love you all very dearly. Bye! If I could hug Nancy, I would.